मैं लिखा लिख तो तू बंदा क्या करके
बताया नहीं ना
कर दीजिए दस
Hello. Good morning. Because it's shooting or Good morning.
कंटिन्यू कर दीजिए हो चुका है चीज पे
Okay. Good morning to everybody. Today, actually, I'm Haradhan Biswas, Academic Counselor of IGNOU, and the guest faculty of GGISP University also, and I'm a tutor also. Today, first of all, I have to thank you to all, and really, it is a privilege to me to give a lecture on particular these things. This is the social process and behavior issues. This is MMPC 011. So now today actually I will discuss about the there are give a outline of this block 1, block 2, and there are 4 blocks. That first of all I have to give some outlook of outlines of the courses. The first block actually is contain introduction to organizational behavior, where there are 3 units. There is the concept of organizational behavior, and then unit 2 is approaches to organizational behavior. Unit 3 is evaluation of organizational behavior. And block 2 is an interpersonal process, where there are 4 units. Unit number 4 is personality, values, and attitudes. And your unit 5 is learning and behavioral modification. Unit 6 is perception and attributions. And unit number 7 is motivation. Now, block 3, it contains, there are again 3 units. Unit number 8 is group dynamics and team building. Unit 9 is conflict and negotiation strategies. And unit 10 is job stress. Block 4 contains the last block. Block number 4 is contains the tackles emerging trends. Unit 11 is employee empowerment. And unit 12 is organization citizenship behavior. Unit 13 is organizational inclusiveness. And unit 14 is diversity management. And unit 15 is last unit, that is positive approaches to work behavior. Now, first of all, we have to try to see the concept of the organizational behavior. What is the organizational behavior? So here actually the first unit, again, it is a sub-unit is there. That is the introduction. We have to discuss about the introductions. Then the open system and institutional persistics, society and the organizations. Then society, environment, and organizations interface. That is a social process and the sources of human behavior. And another unit is process levels from individuals level to society level. There's a micro and macro. There are two levels we have to discuss. Then your changing society and organizations in India. Unit number 1 is contain these things. In the first block. Now, block number 1, again, it is a unit 1 we are trying to conceptualize. That is a concept of OB. The OB, in short, is a organizational behavior. So most of the times we are discussing as a short form, that is OB. So organizational behavior has included two terms. Basically, you see there are two terms are there: organization, and behavior. So better we should understand first what is the organization, then what is the behavior, then combining we have to discuss about the organizational behavior. So organizations, basically it is a group of people who are collected to work for a common goal with collective efforts. Organization works through two concepts: coordination and delegation among its group members. Delegation is necessary to allocate group members with equal work according to their capability, and coordination is required to achieve organizational goal with precisions. That is the organizations. In short, we can say it is in 1 or 2 sentences. We can say the organization is where the people are working together with some objectives, with some major objectives, and to achieve the organizational goal, they have to do it. As far as behavior, when say it is a verbal or physical response shown by a person as a consequence of the impact of his or her surroundings, what the way we are talking, what the reactions they are giving, this thing. Individual behavior varies in accordance with their mental reactivity to particular circumstances because of their deeply embedded morals and the value systems. So behavior actually depends the way of what the way is behaving and depending on the different situations. So now there are two things: one, the organization and the behavior. Now we have to try to combine it. Organizational behavior. Now organizational behavior is the observation of individuals as an individual or as a group of behavior in response to the other individuals or group as a whole. So it studies behavior of people or group, know their attitudes towards particular circumstances. So this is organizational behavior where the people are working. We can say organization is just like a body, and the people are the skills there. They are combinedly, jointly, we can see the organizational behavior. So according to Robbins, he says organizational behavior is a field of study that investigates the impact that individuals, groups, and structure have on behavioral within the organizations for the purpose of applying such knowledge towards improving organizations' effectiveness. So different people are different authors and different philosophers. They are described in different way. So a lot of definitions are there. So in the post-COVID world, you see the needs and expectations of the individuals and organizations have changed. Now the scenario is totally different now. So in a recent backslash, companies such as Swag, Zomato, Amazon, etc., faced a huge blacklist for its delivery partners from high workload and unequal pay and unsafe work conditions. that we already known, we have seen in the last 2 years what happened throughout the worldwide. The study of organizational behavior is helpful in understanding the nature, beliefs, needs, expectations, and behavior of delivery partners as individuals, management and delivery partners as a teams, and the overall organizations. So organizational behavior can be defined using three key features. There are three key features: the human behavior, organizational behavior, and improvement organizational effectiveness. So there are three keys we can see. One is the human behavior, and what the organizational way, and the completely improvement of the organizations. So there are three things we have to discuss. The scope of the organizational behavior. What are the scopes? There are three main focuses area: the individuals or inter-individual behavior, teams or group of interpersonal behavior, organizational structure, systems, policies, practices, and culture. So there are the focus area where we can develop, where we have to see their problems, remedies, whatever it is. That thing has to be notified and to be taking immediate actions. So it is an interdisciplinary area field that derives the knowledge from fields of sociology, anthropology, psychology, etc., to constitute applied behavioral sciences. So this is the scope, and objectives wise, you see the objectives of the organizational behavior. The scope of organizational behavior understand from the following points. Some of the points are highlighted. There are 5 points. But to find out the determinants which constitute the behaviors, that you have to see. It is the objectives of the organizational behaviors. To find the particular cause and effect relationship and learn which can be modified and which is beyond control. That is one of the major, I can say that is the major objectives. To develop more refined and workable sets of assumptions that are directly relevant to the task at hand. Now, to more objectives that predict human behavior in the organizational settings by drawing a clear distinctions between individual behavior and group behavior. That is another thing. We have to distinguish between the two behavior. And then after that, differentiations, integrations, whatever the things that we'll come to discuss with you. Then organizational behavior assists in making judgments, assumptions about a particular situation, explicitly taking into considerations the goals, motives, blind spots, and weakness associated with the organizations. So this is all are your major objectives which are to be understand. In present scenario, the organizational behavior, firstly, it is concerned in first with the behavior and nature of the people within organizations. That is, we can say it is a micro level. But individual people's behavior pattern that we have to abstract. Secondly, with the behavior and the nature of organizations within their socio-culture, political, and economic environments. So definitely it is a some sort of external part. We can say earlier one, first one is a almost internals, and secondly you have to the behavior nature of the organizations within their socio-cultures, political and economic culture. That is in macro level. Altogether it is in a very totality. You have to see it. Significance of organizational behavior to get the productive work from the employees. Managers must know how the people in the organizations behave. That is important. Then it can be explained in 3 heads. Understanding the human behavior, controlling and directing the behavior, and organizational adaptations. So that is the significance of the organizational behavior. Now, open system of organizational behavior. That is, the open system, basically it is a perspective. So Karch and the current 1966, they have defined, focuses on the external social constraints on the organizational actions. What are the external constraints in there? How to do, how to behave, and how to cope up the situation when the external social constraints are there. So organizations are subsystems of society. Then society subsums many systems, but each system has defining characteristics such as, and every system there is some characteristics are there. So inputs from the social environment, that is one. Transformation of available energy, the exportation of a product into the environment, a cycle of events, the existence of the information input or signals. Now, the open system perspective identifies the characteristic system in terms of its relationship and other systems external to it, and also it provides a framework to understand the internal structures and the functions and the process which bind them. Governing both these external and internal aspects is done through institutionalizations. Institutionalizations defines behavior patterns required to regulate the flow of activities and resources between and within the organization systems. The society, environment, and organization interface, because there are three things are there: society is there, environment, and the organizations, and what the way it is interfacing each others. So enterprises as an open system that engages in continuing exchanges with other enterprises, institutions, and individuals in its external environment. Eric Trust and Fred Murray also identified 4 types of environments to an enterprise, namely, that is our placid random, placid clusters, disturbed reactive, and your turbulent field. James D. Thompson's 1967 first provided for 4 categories of environment and suggests different boundary spanning activities by the organizations, which are homogeneous stable, heterogeneous stable, heterogeneous variable, and heterogeneous or variables. So this is the way they have derived. Now, James D. Thompson's 1967, second, he provides for a framework of organizational and environment interface in an open system. Postulates in the following postulates. Some of the postulates already, you can see the principles, some of the given, he has given. That is, variations in environmental conditions will bring about the changes in decision strategies for input and output components of the firm. Then variations in the environmental conditions can penetrate the input and output buffers and cause changes in the technical score of the organizations. Variations in environmental conditions will alter the dependence of input, technical core, and output components relative to one another. When input or output components transfer uncertainty rather than the absorb it, there will be conflict among input, technical core, and output components. So here it is basically described here basically the interface, what the way it is interlinked Other way I can see it is, or the way it is interlinked, how to identify the things. Now, social processes as source of human behavior. Humans are by nature socially oriented. The presence of others often affect how humans behave. Socializations actually uh, uh, acculturations and assimilations facilitate human learning at all life stages. Because you see, you have to socialization basically you have to know how to behave with the peoples, what the value systems and our and society is accepted or not. Some set values are there that society are recognizing here. Yes, you are. So slowly that part is very much required. Culturalizations are also required. You have to know each other cultures and you have to respond accordingly. Then you have to sum up the things. You have to, as much as possible, you have to involve the thing with the things, then facilities. So that basically this is the learning and different stages of life. We have to phase out the time things and we have to learn throughout our life stages. Social institutions like family and groups, political institutions, and economic institutions facilitate the socialization process. These all are the institutionals from the family and from the group. We have learned the things, we have gained the systems, we have accordingly we have to act with the others also. So these all are the institutions, social institutions. According to Elton Mayo, 1946, so he has defined the society is a wave of social relationships, basis to which in human relations. Human relations are interpersonal relationship between individual and individual, or I can say individual and the group and group in both formal or informal settings. So he has given the ideas. It's basically the way where people can interact each others. It may be individual, it may be group, it may be with a group to group. This is the way they have very nicely has explained the things. Then according to McNamara and Page, they are saying the social processes save the web of social relations. These processes are as follows. There are some processes of theirs. As far as this process, what are the process? That is, one is the contact. It may be a physical contact, social contact, awareness, and cognition and psychological contact. Thus, contact as a social process is an important source of human behavior at work. So, because there are so many things when the people are employed or working in the particular organizations, they have to interact it, and it has been surveyed or it has been observed that this is the contact. Through this contact only, people can learn. They can share the knowledge each others. There are so many other ways also there, but it has been when the people are putting in particular job, when they are interact with the subordinates, interact with the seniors, interact with the when they are in systems, then they learn more. So during this process, interactions is like it may be telephonic interactions, it may be discussions, it may be meeting. So a lot of ways are there. So this is the way you can create some awareness and knowledge also. And human behavior also can be predict how he has predicted, how much he has gained the knowledge or not through this contact. Adjustment and accommodations. It is the preliminary stage of accepting and contradictions and putting off with the them as a minimum level of living and letting others live. You see, the human by nature, actually, they are together. They cannot lead alone. They have to have a group. They have to stay with some of the families, stay with the societies. So this is a need for them. Otherwise, uh, this is the beauty of the human natures. So somehow, any situations coming in the life, they are overcoming. Always they are learning how to fight it, how to overcome this. So adjustment, always they are ready to adjust the things, and accordingly they have to accommodate the things, and they have to set it like this way. So, and conflict. So, it is a significant social process which reflects in human behavior. Uh, it may occur at interpersonal level in terms of stress caused by the organizational conditions. So, conflict is sometimes needed because you see, without conflict, you cannot judge the things, which is that some of the alternatives, some good ideas, um, and things are coming up because when the people are particular point they are going or uh, so that's why it has been seen that conflict are necessary sometimes, but it should be a positive way. Uh, this is the things are needed to conflict. It may be management to union problems, maybe the salary problems, maybe the pay packages or somewhere. So conflict is always there. So sometimes management are welcoming the conflict also because they are giving grievances, all these things, joint meetings, and what are the shortfalls and grievances, they can sort it out. That time conflict will come, reactions, basically the reaction will come, and how to reduce the reactions and how to negotiate the things. This is another part is that the conflict management is there. There are another area of this there. Cooperations. So here actually we are talking of all these things are the process, the social process for the as human behavior, and in particular in organizations or maybe the individuals. So cooperations, it is a positive and desirable social process which shapes human behavior towards affiliations, coalitions, and cooperations. So this all are in the positive conditions. The cooperations sometimes create another strength, another energy, or I can say other way, it is a synergy of the things where the people are cooperating each others. Maybe the what are the way differences are there that can be nullified. Assimilations, it is a psychological, social, and cultural tendency and ability to receive new facts and realities and internalizations into the behavior patterns of the recipient. So most of the cases we are accepting these things. Now, the culturalizations and socializations, as we have already said something about these things. So it is a process contribute to the persuasions, self-renewals, and continuity of the society. So we should have, because you have to stay in the society, you have to continue in the society. So you have to renewal. Sometimes self-renewal is also required. You have to identify your fault. You have to identify your strength points, where you have to identify your weakness also. So then again you have to rectify it accordingly. So all these reflect in organizational behavior, which includes both the behavior of people in organizations. Because when the particular employee or the individual, when he realize and when he start thinking his behavioral patterns, or maybe somebody has identified, then accordingly he has tried to change himself or by the instruction of the seniors. So that is in the required in the organization point, and it is a good for the organization itself. So again, there are two things when you are talking about the individuals. So it is a, we can say it's a micro OB, means organization behavior micro levels. And when we are talking about the organizational in a total environment, then it is a macro OB. So the whole spectrum of the social process needs to be viewed from an integrated perspectives. So everything has to be seen as a together. Now here, one of the diagrams I try to show you, that is your individual existential process. You see there are various processes which are integrated. It's just like a star connected, and up to 9 processes are there. There are 9 processes. So individual process, then the interpersonal things, then your role copying process. Number 4 is group building process. Number 5 is intergroup collaborations process. Number 6 is organizational growth process. Then 7 is your organization and environmental influence process. Community social awareness, that is your process, serial number 8. And 9 is your society value process. So there are so many processes are there which are described here. So I just put a picture so that you can understand that clearly. So that these things, and this is the basically the. Then again you can elaborate every process have some techniques on there. So here I'm just on this show you some of the what are the processes are here in these slides. So now changing society and organizations in India. That is also we have to think about it. In India, what are the changes are in the society and in the organizations. So organizational behavior processes needs to be understood in the socio-historical perspective of a country, because we have in our country system will define, maybe in the other country will be different things. Changing society, as you know, we have already lot of phases after the pre-independence and the post and pre situation. Earlier we are in the British colonials, they are ruled by the British also. So after that, lot of things are already improving. Our process scenario, social history process also change, and it is an ongoing process, and it is a totally dynamic. It's not a static systems. So it is true that people, systems, and processes have become vibrant over years, with a definite trend towards making India a happening country and a global player. Today, India, the position is there in the globally. Now, you can go back to the 50, 60 years before. It was not like that. Tremendous changes in social front, every front, the changes are happened. So India's social process were matured over a period of time, which I'm trying to tell you. That is, we can observe that is a pre-Muslim period, the Muslim period, British colonial period, that all these things are different phases has gone, and that impact are already in our social systems. So in the change context in India, some paradoxical and paradigm shifts in the social institutions and processes can be identified. Indigenous development, now you see earlier most of the product are from the outside only. Now we are manufacturing our indigenous process. We have now we are exporting also nowadays. So a lot of development has done. Emerging new norms and beliefs, different norms has come, belief systems also changing. disintegrations of the joint families. Now you see the families are capsule type of families. I mean, this joint family is very rare. So it is disintegrate integrations. Earlier it was an integrated way, a joint family. Now it has, that is also a social changes. And neglect of the family and social values, that is also very big issues nowadays, because you see the family, this is especially those are in the old peoples, and maybe the values also are now deteriorating. That has to be looked after. Human rights and the NGO groups increasing, no doubtly. There are so many. Now, earlier it was slave or many people cannot take their rights. Now people are very much aware of their rights. They can go to the court. They can go to the. They can give their grievances. They can complain. Earlier it was not there. That changes are coming. Diversity is also increasing, because you see the diversity in maybe in all respective, because of the age groups, different old and things, plus male female ratios, and participation of the women in the service. Cultural diversity is also there. Culturally also different cultures. So it is also increasing day by day. Now, your introduction of your approaches. Now you have to see the approaches also. So where we are introductions in the unit 2, that is a meaning of the meaning and the approaches to organizational behavior, OP component and models, systems view of OP, and components of the formal organizational systems, OB models, managing organizational behavior. So this is the your contents of the unit 2. So meaning of and approaches of the organizational behavior. That organizational behavior is the body of knowledge and people skills. And then Robinson has said that, that helps managers to understand. Just organizational behavior is a body. Just is the knowledge of body, and the people are the skills. So you can analyze, you can predict and manage or control human behavior at work. So both the things has to be combined as a complementary each other. You can say both the things are required. You should have a knowledge of the organization also, and you should have a knowledge of the people also. And not only the people, their skills also. Then you can manage in better way. The body of knowledge is enriched by social sciences, such as you see the psychological some things, sociologies, anthropology, economics. There are 23 approaches to organizational behavior, the philosophy, policies, polities, laws, ethics, and moral sciences. So thereby resorting to an interdisciplinary approach. So lot of the way you can just see the images are talking about our human body, how the things are performing. You have to know things. Similarly, in the organizations also, you have to know everything. So in a limited way, biological sciences like the human anatomy and genetics and physical and your environmental sciences have influenced the organizational behavior theory also. Because you see, you are a human, and you have your own body. So when you are your pleasures, your happiness, your sentiment, your emotions, all are involved there. So it will impact in your organizational behavior also. Means productivity. If you are happy, you are satisfied, then that will affect in your. If your body, your health is good, definitely it will be also affecting your organization's behavior also. The organization design. The modern organizations designs, there's a two things on the project design and is the matrix designs. Modern designs, project designs, you see there are some program is there, plan is there. So within a 1 year, 2 year, you have to complete it. There are process, everything is are already set it, and implementation is required in this case. Matrix designs are little different. This is already over the plan, everything. Now you are superimpose all these things. What are the activities you can superimpose, and you see which one is the best. Then you have to take a matrix. Matrix designs, most of the medicine companies, everywhere it is utilization now, because good outcomes are coming from the matrix designs. Systems view of the your organization behavior. The stimulus, organisms, behavior, consequences, that is in short SOBC model. There are so many models are there. And another model is social learning theories out of the system, your system here. Automatic, then your the formal organizational system. OB models are autocratic model. The autocratic model, basically they are the model, the managerial orientation is towards the power, because when in this case the manager, whatever he is saying, you have to follow it. You are not taking the opinion or consult with some of the subordinates. So whatever the instructions are given, simply have to follow it. That is one way. Some of the things are arithmetic models, we can see it. Custodial or paternity model, it is better, because in the custodial model, this is focused on better employee satisfaction and security and benefits also. Just for example, as a parents in the family, the father or mother, they look after, they have to see their future, their growth, their education, their food, everything are things are in their mind, and accordingly, in the organizations also to be seen accordingly. The employees should be happy, their pay package should be good, and their career growth should be there, and all of the benefits they should have. Then and finally, security is also very important. So this is another model, and I think it's the best model nowadays. Supportive model is also another model, that the employee will take responsibility, develop and drive to contribute. That case, authority, some responsibility is handed over to particular employees. Let them do this project, let them do their some authority given. Based on this authority, he can perform as per his capacity, he can do it. So sometimes there's some energy or some extra effort, he can do it. So then that type of responsibility, if you give some of the responsibility to anybody, so he will try his best without any hampering or without any cross things. So then automatically it's a driving force will come, and it will towards the contribution or will achieve the objectives, towards the objectives. So this is also another model is there, that is called the supportive models. And now, introduction to organizational behavior. The third unit is the evolution of organizational behavior. Here actually the instructions coming, introductions, then the classical movement, social man theory, behavioral movement, human relations movement, new human relations, and behavioral science theories. So this is our topics are in the unit 3. That is the last unit, and particular one, block 1. Here you see the evolution of the organizational behavior from the lot of theories are there. Lot of people have explained their own way. Time to time, it has been implemented. Three individuals played important role in this influencing the discipline of organizational behavior. They have derived these things. So they are Adam Smith, Charles Babbage, and Robert Owen. Here, actually, Adam Smith was the first one who said that by dividing different tasks, organizations can gain in correcting them at the earliest. So this he actually called as division of labor and also called as a work specializations. I think it is well defined, means you have to distribute the tasks in a different way. And you see, and in correcting them, time to time you have to modify, you have to correcting them, and you can get the earliest results. So this is one of the things. They have already identified the things. I think Mr. Adam Smith and Charles Babbage and Robert Jones. Then scientific management theory. Presently, it is important. Most of the organizations are going as per the scientific reasons, because earlier, whatever the theories are there, there's some drawback is there, some merits and some demerits are always there. So that this is going on. Now, in this case, it was Frederick Taylor who noticed that employees use vastly different techniques to do the same job. Repetitive work they are doing. That means their work effort, that efficiency, somehow it's leakage, means repetitive work, they are doing their best. So the work done by the workers was very slow. That's also, it has been observed. It means the efficiency are declining. So no effective work standards exist. That time there is no standard is there, effective standards. Taylor made a clear guidelines for improving the production efficiency. He has given some guidelines. Basically, he has observed, and then after that, he has concluded how to increase the production efficiency. So that guidelines we have to see in the next slides. So 4 principles of management that he defined are as: develop a science for each element of an individual, scientifically select, train, teach, and develop the workers. You see, there the points are very important. First is very scientifically he has explained. Cooperate with the workers heartily, so as to ensure that all work to be done in his accordance with the principles of science that has been developed. Means what are as per the standards, as per the means basically the employees by individuals to understand what is the significance of this work, why he is doing, what will be the benefit, what is the learning he'll gain in futures. So some scientific way is there, so that tools and lot of tools and techniques are also there. The one thing is still the standardization. Still the standardization is important in this case when we are talking about the scientific management, a scientific way. So there's some sort of the standards are very important. Divide work and responsibility almost equal between the management and the workers. The workload, I mean, basically the division of work means the responsibility are distributed in such a way, obviously based on this capacity only. So it is exactly equal. What is here actually meaning is the responsibility and accordingly with as per his capacity. That means, other way I can say, he should not be underloaded or overloaded. It should be an unutilized area. What based on your capacity. So that means equally you are distributed depending on their capacity. So relevance of scientific management theories. What is the relevance? That is importance to human behavior at work, because we are giving importance. Workers viewed as rational, means they are unjust, there should not be injustice. What about their complaints? It should be redressed. Their problems has to be sorted out. So viewed in this way, and not biasing, because the workers to be viewed in another way, in a rational way. They are really what are the compensation, what are the things are required that has to be given, because then only they can have a productive or you can afford, you can distribute, or you can produce more things. So relatively, and third point is relatively better industrial harmony through higher wages for increased output. This point is also important, because harmony is also required, and that should not be any conflict. We can reduce lot of conflicts, lot of grievances, lot of complaints through this way. If your package is good, if your total system is very good, organizational behavior is also very good. Means where you are working, the organizational behavior means where you are working, that system is very good. So automatically individuals also to be influenced based on these things. And at the same time, their wages and packages also very good. So definitely it will be increased, output will be increased. So that's the way the scientific management theories are very much effective. So now Charles Babbage advocated some Smith division of the labor, and certain merits and put it from the divisions of the labor they have. It reduces the time for learning a job. It reduces the waste of material during the learning stage. And it allows the attainment of a high skill level. It allows a more careful matching of people's skills and physical ability and your specific tasks. That is Smith been the division of the labor. He just explained this way. This is the classification. That is basically your 20 merits. Basically, the certain merits they just explained. Now, classical movement does from 1900 to 1930. The classical contributions are by the Frederick Taylors, Henry Fowler, Max Weber, who laid the foundation for the current management practices. Whatever we are learning right now in the management courses, they are basically the main contributors and classical things. So two main theories under the classical approach are scientific management and bureaucracy. So now scientific management already we have discussed. Bureaucracy is that you will look at the hierarchy is there, lot of vertical hierarchy there. It is a very long process. Sometimes dictatorship is there. I mean, action plan cannot be taken because you have to wait for the approvals. Some merits also there, some demerits also there. Maybe the correctness, you have to consensus there because lot of hierarchy, there's no chance of mistake, not missing chances is very less. But it will take some delay is there. Whereas in the scientific management, the clarity is there basically. Social man theory, Taylor and Fowler and Weber and criticize not treating employees as a basic core of any organizations, and that human beings are social animals. Because they have noticed and they have criticized also. People are not getting their money. I mean, they are hard work, and they are treating us just like 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours earlier. So then they have noticed, and finally they have derived. So they are contributing a lot in the social. So that's why the social man theory. You have to behavioral movement. Floated fate and the organizations should be based on a group ethics. Some should be group ethics, and individual potential is realized until it associated with the group. Her ideas hold good today as the importance is given to motivation. You see, the motivation, literacy, power, and authority. If you look at Japanese and Europe countries and American management styles, is innovated for this theory because there are no problem basically. They place great importance to group togetherness and the team effort. Main thing here actually, the point is they have a importance for the group togetherness and team effort. Japanese, that's why they are success, and other Europe countries, companies. Here actually, this is the area for the standpoint. In the era of the human side was given importance in the organizations. And human relations movement, the basic belief in this movement is that higher the satisfaction of the employees, higher will be the productivity. So this is the movement things. If you satisfaction is more, so then productivity also more. The following people played important role in the movement, and they are Dalgains and Abraham Maslow and Douglas McGraw. I'll show you some Maslow and what they have derived, what the way they are calculating. So human relation approaches experiment and your considered of 4 phases: the emulations experiment, relay assembly. There are some testing procedures how to identify the human's capacity and how to identify their talent, basically. There are so many approaches are given and experiment also given. New human relations that are basically the post of Haradhan experiments, there was increased focus on the social organizations. Social organizations are required. The next set of management theories, a lot of theories has given and the directions for the human relation, how to improve the human relations. In this case, they have derived. Maslow's hierarchy needs is one of the important. And then your these 2 things I can show you. That's a Maslow hierarchy needs. There are so many stages of physiological needs, safety, social esteem, and finally, this is the way our satisfaction levels are going on. Slowly we are mature on this field. So this is the way I think almost we are in the finish stages. So block 1, there are all the 3 needs we have completed. And then, so block 1, now it has complete. So now we have to go for next time for block 2. Block 2, in the next time we have to discuss how the interpersonal process. So yeah, this is the way I can finish it. Today I hope it is some, I have to give some glimpse according things, and the next slides will be more things. So thank you very much, and hope and patiently namaste, and hope for the next time we can do it better. And next video, please, it will be out day after tomorrow. It will be done. Thank you very much. Thank you.